Welcome to today's episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for footballanalysis1.com and CFLNewsHub.com. On Football Scientific, we cover the NFL, the CFL, the IFL, and any other FL there is out there that's professional football and some college football. Today we're going to go through and hit some notes and news from today from the IFL, UFL, CFL, and NFL. And joining me is my co-host Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here. How's it going? I'm fired up. Let's have a great day. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Boom. Hey, Tyler the Tiger, what are you wearing? I'm wearing my new jersey. I got a new jersey. I got a Bengals jersey. I got a Joe Burrow jersey. Look, it says Joe Burrow. Yeah, you got a jersey. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very cool. I'm pretty hyped about my Bengals jersey. You know what I want to do? What do you want to do? I want to go visit Joe Burrow. I want to go visit Joe Burrow. Well, how are we going to do that? I don't know. But I think we could drive to Cincinnati and we can go visit Joe Burrow. You know what? Sounds a good plan. I think we'll do that in the near future. Let's go visit Joe Burrow. Yeah, let's go visit him. I'm going to show him my jersey. He's going to be so impressed. That's awesome. Tyler Tiger in the house. Let's break it down. All right, let's break it down. Here we go. So first, in the NFL, some news from today and yesterday, late yesterday. Washington Commanders signed veteran offensive tackle Lucas Niang. They're still working to upgrade their offensive line. New England Patriots quarterback Drake May is playing very well in training camp. Now, of course, they're going to say that. They're not going to say, man, Drake May, he's stinking the place up. But it's better than hearing that if you're a Patriots fan, which I'm not. Either way, he can play all right. Tennessee Titans quarterback Cam Moore. Someone asked him in an interview how he thought about their offense, and he says real mid. That's not a compliment. You know what? Cam Moore's real mid. That's how this works out. He's real mid. Their offense is mid. It's all mid, man. Las Vegas Raiders. They have reached an agreement with left tackle Colton Miller for a 3-year contract extension. He's got $42.5 million coming guaranteed. Pretty good deal. Boom. Hall of Fame game is tonight. Boom. First preseason game of the year. If you're asking, saying to yourself, I don't want to watch a preseason game. They won't even play the starters, which is true. Quarterbacks tonight are going to be Hendon Hooker for the Detroit Lions and Trey Lance for the LA Chargers. But if you go on footballanalysis1.com, I put down 10 key areas that the knowledgeable football fan should be looking for during these preseason games to get deep insight about these teams. I would say if you're going to try and win your fantasy football league, you want to watch these preseason games, you want to check out that article and put them together. And footballanalysis1.com is my breakdown of 10 things to look out for during the NFL preseason games. And it'll give you some real insight. It'll make the games more interesting. And it'll allow you to have more fun enjoying football, which is what Football Scientific is all about. Okay, Cincinnati Bengals signed somebody. No, not Trey Hendrickson to an extension. But they did sign former Denver Broncos first-round pick, Noah Fant. If you recall, he was drafted by the Denver Broncos, but he got sent to the Seattle Seahawks so the Broncos could get quarterback Russell Wilson. That wilted. Noah Fant he's not the top tight end in the league, but he's pretty good. And they're using him to replace Eric All Jr. They also released tight end Cole Taylor. He was just still in a roster spot. So Noah Fant, they got some value in there to give him a third tight end, which they'll need. Okay. Indianapolis Colts made some moves today. They signed cornerback Trey Herndon. They signed cornerback Duke Shelby. Okay. Why did they do that? Well, they had to place cornerback David Long Jr. on the IR list. Okay. He's hurt. Another guy hurt in training camp. They released tight end Albert Okengbunam Jr. That guy's been released. Tampa Bay Buccaneers cornerback Zion McCollum is looking for a contract extension. He's seeing people get signed. He's like, I need a contract extension. Tampa Bay's like, maybe. San Francisco 49ers making a bunch of moves today. They signed running back Amir Abdullah. Give him a power back in the backfield. They signed wide receiver Marquez Callaway. They signed wide receiver Andy Isabella. They signed quarterback Carter Bush. So they all signed all those guys to 1-year contracts. Amir Abdullah, Marquez Callaway, Andy Isabella, Carter Bush, 1-year contracts. It's a prove-it deal. In response, they released wide receiver Equinemius St. Brown, which, he got signed by the 49ers last week to replace Brandon Ayuk, but Brandon Ayuk's looking a little better, and this St. Brown guy's a bad character. They also waived offensive lineman Sebastian Gutierrez. They waived wide receiver Malik Knowles, and they waived safety Jalen Mahoney, creating space for those new guys. Boom. San Francisco 49ers, they visited with former running back Jeff Wilson. He may be coming back. I remember him on my fantasy team. He wasn't a top guy. He was, RB3, probably, like a bench guy. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Jawan Jennings has re-aggravated a calf that has been bothering him at OTS. There's no timetable for his return, so he's hurt. Of course, he wants to get paid, so maybe he's strategically injured. Boom! Tonight, 7 p.m., Calgary Stampeders. You can watch this on CFL Plus for the United States. Free streaming service on CFL.ca. Calgary Stampeders, 5-2, traveling to our Red Blacks, 1-6. Calgary has lost. They lost last week, took an L. We'll see if they can bounce back and get a win. They'll be doing it without quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. But here's a bunch of movements they made preparing for this game tonight. First, they extended out same-game injury list. American defensive back Tyler Richardson. National defensive back Jackson Sambach. National wide receiver Clark Barnes. American linebacker Kaleki Anyabeki. American linebacker Gary Johnson Jr. An American running back Eno Benjamin. Okay. Boom. They added from the same-game injury list. Some guys bouncing back from injuries. National offensive lineman Thomas Jack Kurdala. American quarterback Josh Love. American offensive lineman Joshua Coger. National linebacker Justin Herman Reed. Okay. They also moved to the practice roster. National linebacker Maurice Blackwell Sr. American offensive lineman Preston Neum. Okay. And they moved global punter Mark Verrett to the practice roster, and American defensive lineman Josiah Coatney to the practice roster. From the practice roster, they activated national running back Ludovic Choquette, global punter Frazier Mason, American wide receiver Dalen Baldwin. So they're shuffling around their roster, getting ready to try and beat the Ottawa Red Blacks, get back on top of things. Okay. Calgary Stampeders also moved to the same-game injured list. National wide receiver Jalen Philpott won't be playing tonight. American quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. won't be playing tonight. National wide receiver Damian Albert. I think they'll still win this game. They'll do it without Vernon Adams Jr. and without two good receivers. I think they like to pound rock. They're going to pound rock, play good defense. Hamilton Tiger-Cats, I could be completely wrong. Hamilton Tiger-Cats, as reported yesterday by me, and I wrote an article on CFL News Hub, they signed American defensive lineman Malik Hall, who had been released during training camp, and they released defensive lineman Kyle Sampson, who had been generally not productive. Winnipeg Blue Bombers added from their practice roster American running back Quentin Cooley. Okay, they moved to the practice roster National D lineman Colin Cornelson, American defensive back Marquise Brooks, national running back Matthew Peterson. That's why Hamilton got rid of him, because he keeps getting hurt and keeps getting downgraded. Boom. So Saskatchewan Roughriders signed national defensive lineman Deshaun Stevens. Okay, we went through all Calgary's adjustments. We went through some other teams' adjustments. But then tonight, playing Calgary is Ottawa Red Blacks, and they also made a bunch of adjustments roster-wise. So here we go. In an effort to try and get their second win of the year. I'm doubtful they will do that. They added to the Sun game injury list. So they had several injuries. National offensive lineman Peter Godber, American linebacker Frankie Griffin, national long snapper Peter Adji, American wide receiver Braylon Addison, American defensive back C.J. Calden, global defensive lineman Blusman Teala from Hawaii, former first-round draft pick from 2024. National defensive lineman John Aiden. They extended on a single-day injury list. National defensive back Charlie Ringland. American defensive lineman Chase McGowan. And American defensive back Gavin Heslop. Okay. Boom. Continue to extend people on the single-day injury list. American linebacker Davion Taylor is not going to play. National offensive lineman Samuel Carson is not going to play. Global linebacker Tyron Vreddy is not going to play. They have released American running back Elijah Cole, American defensive back Shakur Brown. They extended on a six-game injured list. American offensive lineman Parker Medley and global linebacker Les Moreau. Okay, boom. More adjustments from Ottawa. They moved 2 to a practice roster, so they deactivated these guys. American linebacker Ayinde Elin, maybe. National defensive back Corey Ambers. American wide receiver Andre Miller. Global punter Mark Neighbors. American linebacker Ayinde Ely. American defensive lineman Colin Cornelson. Okay, so that's a lot of moves. I think at the end of the day, Calgary's beat up, Ottawa's beat up. I think Calgary's a better team. I believe they get to win 31-21 is my prediction there. You can watch the betting guide and check out my short, and you'll see what I'm saying. Okay. In the IFL, playoffs start Saturday. Teams are making adjustments along the way to maximize their chance to get to the next round. Bay Area Panthers, number 1 seed in the West, signed wide receiver Desmond Epps and released wide receiver Trey Goodman. Jacksonville Sharks, number 4 seed in the East. They moved to the season IL injured list. Offensive line Kenny Furman, he's done. They signed offensive line Cordell Brewster to replace Kenny Furman. He's done. Boom, more IFL moves. San Diego Strikeforce signed quarterback Harrison Rubidoux. Okay, they moved to the season IR list, meaning they're done for the year. Defensive line Guy Thomas, and they released defensive lineman Jalen Joyner. Jacksonville Sharks, number 4 in the East, signed wide receiver Markel Wade. They put on a short-term IR list wide receiver Khalil McLean. Green Bay Blizzard on the short-term IR list placed O-lineman Roderick Williams, and they signed defensive lineman Roderick Hendren. So that's a lot of Rodericks going back and forth there in Green Bay. Tulsa Oilers signed defensive back Sharquez Bond. Quad City they're number 3 seed in the East. Now Quad City Steamboats, number 1 in the East, signed quarterback Braden Wing, and they retired quarterback Seth Morgan. That's why they had to add Braden Wingle. Make sure they have a backup quarterback. Arizona Rattlers, they moved to the season IR. Quarterback Drew Powell, he's done. They moved to the season IR. Defensive back Jermaine Dubb. They moved to the season injured list. Wide receiver Jordan Parker. They signed wide receiver Donovan Ollie to replace him. They signed wide receiver Rashi Hodges back, boom, to replace Jermaine Dubb. And then they signed quarterback J.N. Magalai to replace Drew Powell. Boom. San Diego Strikeforce, I mentioned this already. Yep, got it. IFL, done. UFL, some changes coming up. They announced a new ownership partner to the group, Mike Rapole, who's an entrepreneur and billion-dollar brand builder. Okay, he's joined the league's ownership group. He has connections with the Columbus Crew. Columbus, Ohio will be getting a UFL team next year. Rapole says they're going to move 2 to 4 teams. At least Columbus is getting a team. They're going to play at Columbus Crew Stadium. Boom, Atlanta Falcons signed San Antonio Brahmas safety Henry Black. And that's the news for today. Tyler Tiger, what do you think's going on? Are we going to go to training camp for real? Or in Cincinnati? Yeah, I think we'll go Sunday. We'll go Sunday and hang out with Joe Burrow. What? Yes, we're going to go hang out with Joe Burrow? I'll show him my jersey. Yeah, I think he'll probably like it. You know, last time we hung out with Joe Burrow, he liked stuff like that. So It'd be pretty hype to see you in your jersey. That's awesome. Awesome. I'm ready to go. Hey, here's a few things you want to know. First, if you want to learn about some NFL stuff, check out footballanalysis1.com. Next, if you want to learn about some CFL stuff, check out CFLnewshub.com, including the preview he wrote, this guy, that he wrote for the Tiger Cats versus Edmonton Elks game on Saturday. Next, if you like the channel, like the video, boop, and subscribe to the channel, boop, and you'll get more of our videos, which we make all the time. Should be a great time. Okay, football scientific, the portal is closed. Boop, 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 boop. Look at my jersey, it's cool. Hey, all right. All right, good job, Tyler.